Yes. Interesting. All right. Well, we're on the air again, theoretically. And we're going to start with some interesting developments from Truphone. We've got from left to right on my screen, Andy Smith, James Bodie, James Tagg, Michael Graves, and look, Jimmy Godgout joined. I think he made a typo in his name. Anyway, yeah, I know. It's funny. That's not the name I usually see. I think there's a B in it. So maybe we'll edit this, because this is totally live, totally no net, totally unplanned, right?
Yep. It's the only way to do it.
We did not know it's a dangerous demo. Let's face it.
Yeah. So okay. So you've got James and James here, and we're in London, and we're sort of near each other, but separated so that we don't get any kind of feedback problems. And we normally do sort of dangerous demos, and people do their demos, and we get to kind of make them squirm. And so this time we thought, it's the holiday season, and it's time for people to get their own back. So we're going to do a dangerous demo and show you a new product that we've built. So we're going to introduce you to True.co, which is a new service that we just launched probably about 10 minutes ago, although if you're watching this on a later broadcast a couple of days ago. And it solves the routing problem. And the routing problem is, I think if you watch the last VUC, they were talking about if you have WebRTC, you have a big problem, which is, although WebRTC solves you getting video or media or text and so on in real time, backwards and forwards between two browsers, how do you actually connect the two browsers together in the first place? So you have this problem of routing. And so what you obviously need is a directory. So you need a directory of people who are linked together in some sort of way so that you can find someone, you can resolve your name or whatever, your ID, to someone's PC and their IP address, and you can get a connection. And the problem with any network, really, when you get started, is the empty network problem. So most networks have no members when you start. And so if you go searching, so if you build a product where you've got to go searching for a member, then that's a real tough thing, because there won't be any there to start with. So many networks just don't get started. So we've been puzzling over this, and so we've made something which is pretty simple, but we think it's the simplest way to make a WebRTC call, so to kick off a WebRTC call. And we're going to demonstrate it. So I think James is going to show his screen.
I am now sharing my screen, and James is going to invite me, I believe.
Okay. Right. Yes.
Correct?
Okay.
So
I'm just going into screen sharing mode.
Right. This is my email client. Well, yeah, you can do that.
Right. Can you see my my screen now?
Right.
We could for a brief moment there.
Here it is.
With the one that says call any email address, you see that?
That's it. Yeah. So it's very, very simple. What you have is two boxes to fill in and a call button. There's some sophistication under the hood, which we'll kind of come to next. But what we're trying to give people is just a really, really simple starting point into WebRTC. So you put in your email address, you put in their email address, and you click call. And what that does is it sends an email with the necessary information in it to the B party, the person you're trying to call, that has a green button in it. And we're going to see that hopefully in a moment. So once you put one email address in, you can put more. It's
anybody else want to join? It is multi-party. What's the maximum number we can do?
I mean, there's no particular limit. I think we may have a soft limit on one of the servers at 6 or 7 calls, simply because then you start to kind of torture the sort of encoding of the PC. But I mean, you could do as many as you've got bandwidth and processing power to cope with. And again, maybe later we'll talk about how you can cope, how you can reduce the bandwidth load. And we've done a bunch of technology to do that. But we're starting with something that's very, very simple, because my experience with most of the WebRTC things that we have today is they're pretty complicated to sort of get into.
You didn't click that yet, James, did you?
No, I did, but it wasn't working. So we're keep talking whilst I just
So as soon as you do, I'm going to switch over to mine so you can so I can show you.
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Okay. We were going to use the production version, but that doesn't want to work. So we just switched to the development platform very quickly, which will work.
So it's a demo. Obviously, I tested the production platform only 5 minutes before we came on the call. It was working fine.
Okay, so I've pressed the button.
Now I'm showing my email client, which of course will take a couple of seconds to get it, but right now it's saying no new email.
Yeah. So,
here it is right
there
here.
it is. So everyone says, email's terribly slow, it's never going to work, but of course most people's emails these days are pretty fast.
It worked, and here I'm going to voila. Okay, your browser. So I click on this.
Yep.
We don't need to go through a whole. It's just answer call. Oh, you don't have my cursor here. Show mouse the cursor. Okay. So I'm going to click on this answer call, which I did. Now we're going to bring up the full window of what happens here. There's actually a terrific innovation. We're going to have to.
And there you are. You did it. You did it.
And oh crikey, there's Andy as well.
You need to be careful about the audio return. I just want to mention that you had a really good screen because it says full screen. Be sure to authorize audio, and I've already done that, so I didn't see the screen.
Yeah, we have debugged that annoying feature of WebRTC where.
Can you mute me?
Okay, who do I need to mute?
Me.
James B.
James.
How's that? Yeah, James Bodie. Mute him.
Okay, is that going to do it? Yeah,
that's a lot better, I think.
So yeah, that was a nice little thing that you actually put full screen with a little arrow saying, "Don't forget to approve."
Click on that button up there. Yep.
Because that's something that people don't usually see. Okay, so here we.
Although bless them, the Google team are moving that button to somewhere else now.
Well, we will obviously have an arrow that follows you around the screen. Remember those little cat and mouse screensavers from many years ago? That would. So we'll keep up with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's the fewest number of clicks you can make to get a WebRTC call from party A to party B, given that you haven't established some sort of relationship already. Now, if you were looking as James set it up, you'll have actually seen that there was a login capability on the screen. So you can log in, join, and then once you've done that, it will remember all the people you've ever invited, and so you've now built yourself a little directory, and it will tell you whether those people are in a browser at the time, so you've got some present stuff coming, and it's building you up from scratch a sort of normal, real-time communication relationship with your friends and family. But you can just go in. I shouldn't have spoken too excitedly. I've got to be less excited on this call.
We used to that.
That's right. But you can simply go into the first screen and just type to email address, and you're away. You'll make a call or a multi-party call. So, what am I supposed to do?
We're getting the crickets here now.
Yeah, that's an interesting audio. Oh. Anyway, that works.
So should we try a multiple call now, or is it possible to add somebody or not?
Yeah, this is Andy's already in this call, isn't he? He was when we started it.
Not at.
I've actually left now, mainly because I couldn't hear anything. But that's because my machine turned down the audio out of the Hangout, which was the one I was listening to.
Yes.
Actually, I seem to have left the call, as you can see.
Right. So I think James is going to do a multi-party call now and just sort of go through from scratch and set it up. We think so.
Is Giacomo still around?
Andy, you'll appreciate this. Forget about it. These companies, it says you can't join as a company, and they just keep trying.
But of course, it's Friday afternoon.
If James is on the phone now, is that the deal?
I'm just looking for somebody. Is anybody else on the IRC?
Who's he talking to?
Who's James talking to?
Yeah, during the demo, you know, I mean, that's...
Anyone wants to shoot me an email as well as part of this game, I'm happy to play along.
What's Tim's email address?
James is, I'm sure James has your address. He's on the phone.
Andy, ask.
I imagine I'm probably in Tag's email list as well, probably, from somewhere in the deep distant past.
Yep, let's find it.
Tim, could you just give me an email address that I can then shout across the room to James, who can't hear you at the moment?
I can hear him. He can't
Excellent.
hear me.
All right.
I can say what I like about him, can I now?
Yeah, so what's your email address, Tim?
Which one do you want? How about tim@phonefromhere.com?
Okay.
Right, sending him right now. Who's going to be first?
So, I mean, obviously what you have is the fact that email takes a bit of time, but everyone has it. So you have your swings and roundabouts, the fact that you know, it's going to be a bit slow, but with the very first time you do it with someone, but it's pretty much guaranteed to get through because everyone has it and everyone uses it. So that's the sort of the trade-off we play to get something that's sort of you know, reasonably universal, or entirely universal. And I think it's sort of an interesting idea to sort of say to people, you know, now your email address is your phone number, and you can call using email address. I think that's quite sort of noteworthy. So Tim, James, Multiparty.
Yeah,
but,
indeed.
Yeah. So what we're, I mean, it's a demo of simplicity as opposed to a demo of, you know, lots of, you know, wonderfully you know, complex technology. So that's it.
So there's no audio mute button. It's the only thing I'm missing, or have I not found it?
You haven't found it.
If you right-click on the main pane, you get the option to mute.
Yeah, I noticed that too, because there's a camera mute, but not. Okay.
Did you find it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mute play speed. What does that do?
Speeds you up. And
What? What? Why have I got a play speed?
Yeah, cool.
Speeds you up and slows you down.
It offers me ludicrous speed.
So obviously, given that you've got a WebRTC, you know, engine in there, you can then add lots of features. So I mean, we're kind of adding a feature every few hours, and we'll go, well, why can't we screen share? And you go, oh, yeah, you know, why don't we just, yeah, we can just do that, or why don't we put some little chat in, and or why don't we have a silly speech bubble appear over Tim's head? So it's very easy to extend WebRTC once you get going, but the big problem usually is actually getting going, and so this is the solution to that problem.
Okay. That works. I think that's it. Don't you?
That's the demo. Yeah.
And we're going to have to run because I have a train to catch.
Yeah. As do I. It being the Friday before Christmas.
Yeah, I have a tree to decorate. So we all have our tasks.
Okay, Randy, that's it from us, I think. And Randy's disappeared.
He's got a bottle of wine to open, probably.
He's putting a pizza in the oven, I bet.
No, he'd be opening a bottle of wine.
Yeah, we know.
So, Thank you, gentlemen. And are any of you folks going to take me up on my challenge to go beyond screen sharing ABCs and let me use my camera and my screen? Because that would be really lovely.
Oh yes,
that would be
yes. I mean,
that would be a market differentiator.
What you really want to do is screen share and video share and be able to have a little chat window that kind of sits and floats around, and that, you know, so that you can do the whole 9 yards. Because that's the big problem when you get into any sort of collaborative video conference. It's like either you can see a picture of the person, or you can see a screen, or you can see a slideshow, and you kind of have to pick and choose between them. And I would have thought it'd be fairly simple, given you've got a browser metaphor now, to just pop up a few different windows and say, you know, tile them and move them around as you wish. So
and right now, to be able to do the kind of thing that I'm just doing now, where I'm showing you sort of a little application running down in a window, and then put up a lower third. That's maybe more evolved than is necessary. But the ability to have the speaker talking, as we saw earlier today, the speaker talking along with his slides is vastly more useful than either just the slides or just the speaker.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll take you up on the challenge.
What conference organisers do, they'll do your slides and then insert you, or the other way around, depending on how they feel.
Yes, that's what they do when you see yourself sort of post-production.
Yeah.
Actually, live stream presenter has always worked that way. From the very
and they're using fairly traditional video production tools, as I've used for decades, which is sort of just tons of knowledge overhead, and there's no reason why, if you have the wherewithal to build a PowerPoint presentation, then you know enough to be able to do this in a WebRTC based service that doesn't just say this stream or that stream. But then the architecting part, the curious part and the interesting part is, what are you guys going to do for architecture? Are you going to take both streams up to the server and let the individual clients play with their manipulation, or are you going to have some presets for, I do this, I do that? And we can talk about that, because that's a lot of fun.
No, we've already done some interesting things where you can choose to mix the streams in the server and then broadcast just one stream that's got two things inside it and so on, because obviously, since we're predominantly a mobile phone company, the very first question you do when you sort of say, oh, we could have 6 streams in, is how do you stop your Nexus becoming an egg fryer? Because you're mixing six streams or something simultaneously on a phone, it's going to fall over or it's going to cook itself. So we've done some quite cute stuff, which we're not going to show you here.
Catch fire. It's literally going to catch fire because the battery's going to get so hot.
Absolutely, you really are going to toast it. So so we've done some quite cool stuff, which we'll show maybe in the next broadcast or a next but one, whatever, that solves all those sort of obvious next problems that you kind of you're starting to pop up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just got the 3 minutes thing. This is fantastic, though. It really is. It's totally spectacular. It worked perfectly the first time we tried it, and the second time. So hey, twice in a row.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, it's gone live, so it's out there as a service. So we would hope that you play with it and use it, and suggest features that we can add, which we can do pretty quickly, and be nice about it. Tell us what's wrong.
What do we need to do to get people to use this? What's the URL to go to?
Oh, true.co.
True.co. And you can play around with it and mess with it and give feedback, especially feedback.
How do you give feedback? What's our feedback address? I mean, you can email me.
Ping James on all those channels that he's on.
That's right. So we're out there on the social media and stuff. I think you just email us. And we'll
worst case, they ping VoIP users on Twitter or here or someplace. And I'll connect them with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to run, and we might as well stop this broadcast. But you're welcome to continue in private on the mature audiences only version.
Right. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Great. Thanks, Ray.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.